Good afternoon. Welcome to the Long Live Third Parties podcast. Free Press Media Press Inc., a third parties books publisher, sponsors this podcast. I'm Andrew Bouchard. Today I read the case Green Party versus State Bureau of Commissions, 168A3D123, Pennsylvania Supreme Court, 2017. Friends, whatever day of the week it is in your neck of the woods, it's a day in the week to advance third parties. Our friends at the Green Party challenge ballot access laws once again. In this particular instance, they challenge a special election ballot access issue. As the record states, it says, quote, due to the impending special election on March 21st, 2017, we resolved the instant matter by curiam order on March 3rd, 2017, affirming the Commonwealth's court denial of mandamus relief. The order left in place the Bureau's determination that Huxa was ineligible to appear on the ballot as a candidate in the special election. End quote. When the special election came up, the Green Party wanted to nominate this individual to be their representative. So they did what they could to get on the ballot. But there was issue about whether it was filed. And it wasn't as if it was 8 months later, or 2 months later, or even 2 weeks later. It hinged on a single day. The wording of the law, as they put it, quote, 50 days prior to the date of the special election, end quote, determines whether they complied or not. And when they did submit their papers, they discussed it with the government representatives who said it looked fine. So they thought it was okay. Unfortunately, the state here is contending the Green Party didn't comply, and they sent the information, but they got no response, and the Green Party did not do what they could. The Green Party says they did check and they didn't see anything in the places they checked, email and regular mail. Therefore, there's a lot of dispute on whether they got the notice. And then they also debate whether the meaning of shall is, they argue whether it's means required or it means may. Here, there in the statute, it's talking about whether the department here for elections should notify the parties. So they debate whether that means it's mandatory or whether they have the option. What do you think? Do you think shall means may or it means must? Is it optional or is it Is it optional or mandatory? So unfortunately here, because it was filed on January 31st, 2017 instead of January 30th, 2017, they had to reject it. They said it did not meet the deadline. There's no grace period here, friends. No grace period. Unfortunately, this didn't go well. One bright light was there was a dissenting opinion here. A Justice Donahue dissented. He says the following, quote, when interpreting provisions of the election code, at least three basic principles must be considered and applied. First, the election code speaks to the ordinary citizen, and its plain language must be read in a common sense fashion as expanding, not contracting applicable time periods. Second, the election code must be liberally construed to protect a candidate's right to run for office and the voters' right to elect their candidates of their choice. Third, we must not presume that the General Assembly intended a result that was absurd or unreasonable, end quote. This justice believed they did file on time. they believed January 31st was the date, not January 30th. I'm glad I didn't have to fight this battle. It sounds a lot of hair splitting. Sounds like a lot of pulling out your hairs. Sounds like a lot of haggling over little details. Thankfully, the Green Party here did do this work. They did fight the fight. Not only did that justice dissent, there was another justice that joined along. The first justice, the Donahue individual, he wrote the opinion, the dissenting opinion. Justice Wedge signed on. So good job, people. This was a defeat. Fortunately, we had some people on our side here amongst the justices. Many other cases, when we get a defeat, it's everyone agrees. But fortunately here, some people did not agree, and maybe someday that will help. Friends, let us keep marching ahead, because we are doing a good thing by advancing third parties. Long live third parties. Goodbye.